Like everyone on this call to give me a big woohoo!
Woohoo!
So anyways, to get started, my name is Allison Cohens and I'm here with my teammates.
I'm Laura Rodriguez.
And I'm Sydney Pennell.
And we're going to be talking to you about our endpoint security services. So jumping right into an agenda here, we have, we're first going to be talking about our managed detection and response, moving into our security service portfolio, and then a quick case study. So for a little bit of engagement, on average, how many days do you think it takes for a silent threat to be detected? So if you could use the Zoom reaction panel, I'd love to see what you think. We have 26, 46, 47, 86, and 108. Okay, so I'm seeing 26, 47. Okay, it's actually 108 days. So I think Brian, you had that, and I think Matt. So yeah, it's 108 days. So that is almost 4 months where a silent threat could not be detected. So imagine this. You graduate college, you go to law school, and eventually you start your own law firm. You spend years and years becoming one of the most prominent firms in your area, and one day your data is breached. You don't know how it happened because you always stress security to your employees, but somehow now you're paying almost $13 million for this data breach. You find yourself with 63% of companies that have already experienced data compromisation and exploited vulnerability. You start to think about what ifs. What if I implemented a stronger security system? What if I had taken more precautions? Would we still be here today? Well, the bottom line is this. Security threats are more prominent now than ever. So at this point, how can we at Dell Technologies protect you and your companies? At this point, I'd love to pass it over to Lalo to speak more about our security offerings.
Thank you, Allison. And like she said, it sounds almost unbelievable that we're such risk, but it is true. If we take a look around us, we see nothing but technology, especially in an era of COVID where everything turned online, things adapt, and also the attacks are adapting, and that's where we come in. We help our companies by having 5 different ways, which is our cybersecurity framework. This is where a company can come in any step they would like or take all 5 as recommended. The first one will be identify. Here we determine the issues and organize security across the people and its assets. Next, we have protect. Here we implement security solutions and make sure they're working to ensure that you get your goals and we're able to assist you at a proper time. Detect. Here we can monitor your systems, process, and solutions. Here's what we pride ourselves in the response. Here we take actions when something is breached, but hear this out. This is when it is a predetermined plan because we take the time to understand our customers and give them the value that they deserve. Lastly, we have recover. In this aspect, we capture the best practices and corrective actions. In case something happens, we have you protected. On the next slide, we're actually able to see some statistics that just show you how prominent these attacks are, because the question here is not, is it going to happen, but when and how are we going to deal with it? The product about it, the cyber attacks might seem that only online, but there's also other factors that come into it, such as external threats, the user behavior, and then limited security resources. At the bottom, we see that it actually takes about 108 days before a silent attack is detected, such as Allison said. This will take a really, really tragic toll because it will be really expensive at the end of the day when this surfaces and it takes a toll on the company. 72% of users actually share confidential data with third parties externally, as well as there is a labor shortage with 1.8 million security professionals that are needed by 2022. As we can see, technology is evolving and so the need to protect. And the last slide, on the next slide, we're actually able to see DMR, which is our the managing and responses of anything going on. Here we actually see that we have a 24/7 managed service leveraging software that covers your endpoints, servers, network, and even your cloud. It is delivered by Dell Technologies and it is available as a subscription. Dell Technologies can also provide a virtual globally distributed security operations center that includes many benefits such as response and active remediation for up to 40 hours, as well as cyber incident response initiation also up to 40 hours. In this slide, actually, Sydney's gonna come in and explain to you more in more digestible chunks.
Yeah, thanks, Lalo. So think of MDR as like a brand new car. You know, you have all your features, your locks, your keys, your cameras, your sensors. So I'm going to focus more on our detect and response part right here at the top within our Dell Technologies Managed Detection and Response, so our MDR program, and how you can compare it to all the cameras and sensors of a car. So in your business, don't you want to know what's going on at all times and be able to predict and proactively attest to something when it's about to happen? Just like a car, Dell is able to provide you with that solution. A car keeps you in between the lanes with its sensors, keeps you safe at all times. And here at Dell, we are willing to take that service to make sure we take the worry away from you to work on innovation and more profit for your business. Now, looking into our security portfolio on the screen, I wanted to give you an example, the easiest way I think it is to comprehend our security portfolio. A wise manager of mine once explained this to me as, picture there's a flash drive on the sidewalk, or someone misplaces a flash drive on your desk at work. How many of you would pick it up and plug it in to see what was on it? I kind of sat back for a second because I thought personally, I probably would want to see what was on it because I didn't know what it was. And, I'm just so into research, so I'd want to know what was there. Then he asked, now, if you knew there was a virus on it, would you do the same thing? And I thought to myself, well, absolutely not. Why would I want to do that to my computer and to my business? So think of our portfolio as a way to offer you the ability to assess, implement, and monitor your surroundings. So you're able to see, who places that flash drive where and where it came from. We also have the forensic and staff augmentation to dive deeper into situations such as the flash drive that may arise. Two of my favorite security services are implementation and monitoring. Our implementation offer is available on VMware Carbon Black, Encryption Enterprise, and Absolute. Some of its benefits include peace of mind, because here at Dell, we will do the work for you. Our end user adoption you'll receive through user activation, and it limits post-implementation remediation. Our endpoint monitoring service is a well-designed solution to ensure software performance to industry's best practices. The monitoring service will consist of managing one of these technologies located in the bottom left of your screen. This feature keeps a continuous eye on the steady state of your endpoints without utilizing your in-house resources and will respond quickly to harmful activity. On the next slide here is a cost example of how much we could save you annually through Dell's monitoring system. Looking at this slide, you can compare self-monitoring to Dell's monitoring services. The average in-house security specialist makes over $106,000 a year. And we can see with having Dell's monitoring system do the work for you, you're able to save almost $90,000 total to use towards your company's other needs. Now, Allison is going to go more in depth with an education case we had and how we help solve their issues with our security services.
Yeah, thank you, Sydney. So my team and I decided to study Friendship ISD, their K-12 education. And one of their biggest concerns were, cyber threats are growing in frequency and sophistication. So Friendship ISD wanted to strengthen its layered defense in-depth cybersecurity model by raising awareness across district, especially at the highest level. And another thing that they wanted was adding 24/7 proactive threat intelligence and reactive threat response. So luckily, that's something that we offer at Dell. So we paired them with our SecureWorks threat detection and response, as well as our managed detection and response. So with this, they were able to see results with a 24/7 threat protection and response, improve visibility. We cut their reaction times by 85%. Overall, we were able to simplify and also sophisticate their threat reporting to save time in keeping district leadership informed. So with that, I would love to close it out, and thank you so much for listening to us today. I'd love to open up for any questions and also get to know your company's problem.
Good work, guys. I'll go ahead and pull up the broken deal.
I guess that one wasn't, oh, it is still, oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Is it still recording, Kira? Or?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, yeah, we want, yeah, okay. Okay, well, this is Healthy Habits. HH recently had a data center refresh end to end, but have not updated their firewalls. With recent news of breaches, they're concerned about how susceptible they may be at this point. They feel their security software may be outdated. The IT team is now concerned about pushing out new personas to end users due to their current susceptibility.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Healthy Habits LLC, for talking to Dell Technologies. Here we've been able to find lots of solutions for many different customers, and I have no doubt that we'll be able to help you out with your security concerns. So just to kick things off, I'd love to ask, money aside, what would be the perfect outcome for you?
A
Yeah.
secure, yeah, go ahead, Lacey.
No, I was just gonna say, I would like to know what's on all of our IT infrastructure and who's accessing it and what's coming through and that it's safe.
For sure, for sure.
That's right, Matt. I mean, that's what you're gonna say, like,
Yeah. Different addition to that. I mean, ultimately, we want to feel secure. We want to feel safe. We want our customers, to feel safe being with us. That their data is not going to get compromised, along with our end users. But obviously, the safety of our customers is probably our number one concern. And obviously, like Lacey was stating, just want to know what kind of activities going on and making sure that we're keeping up the bad guys.
Yeah, I think that's very wise to be thinking of that, because our team recently studied that 70% of breaches actually happen at endpoints, as well as 72% of employees are willing to share confidential data. So if any of my team members want to hop in and, ask any questions.
Yeah, so I guess the question I would want to ask you guys is you just explained kind of a little bit of your current, issues, but what is an accurate time frame for your company to get better security? Are you guys on a time frame? Or are you just looking to, just get better security for future?
Me personally, I mean, as soon as possible. I mean, especially with all the news out there. I mean, hopefully we haven't already been breached. I mean, I don't feel like we have a monitoring system mature enough to let us know.
Okay.
You're muted, Lalo, if you're talking to us.
Yes,
He's
thank
doing a
you so
lip
much
sync battle.
right? But well, thank you so much, and we would like to continue asking more questions because we want to ensure that we have the best product for you. And based on everything you've seen, I can assume, at least at the moment, correct me if I'm wrong, that do you have anything right now set in place to be able to protect yourself, or are you right now at the moment not have anything at all?
We have a few things, but Lacey, what's a couple of the things that we have in place right now?
yeah, so we actually just put all of our money into this data center launch. So we really focused on protecting, like, I think we have McAfee, and we've had some conversations with SecureWorks, but we didn't purchase anything, even though it was suggested. But right now we're just doing like computer security.
Right.
Yeah, so I think our endpoints are somewhat protected, but at this point we have nothing on our
Yeah,
data
so-
center equipment.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
So I would just like to ask, are you guys using Dell systems?
Majority, and we got a little bit of a mix, but I would say it's like 90-10 Dell.
Okay. Because one of the cool things also with Dell systems is a lot of them include built-in security features. But with that being said, we'd also love to work on a service with you to kind of help with that threat management. So basically, we have options for end users like Dell Safe BIOS and Dell Safe ID, as well as Safe Screen. So this will kind of protect your employees from any information that might get out there. So with that, I also would like to let Sydney take it from here.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask a quick question. I know you guys talked about how you just, got a data center and all that. So I just want to make sure, is there a certain budget you guys are allowing right now? I'm sure that was a pretty big purchase. So I just want to make sure, we're keeping within your budget and not overextending by adding too many things.
Well, I know my department can't afford a breach, so
Right,
whatever that looks like, we can't afford to have our information out there.
right. And
So
I
I'm
think
really
a lot of,
looking, yeah, I'm really looking to you guys to help me there.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times people don't understand the costs of putting those security provisions in place and also understanding the cost of a breach. It's going to be sometimes even more than what you'd pay for a security system. So something that I've also thought about for your company would be Dell's Safe Data. So this is basically an end user that works in public places where data is more at risk. It must be secured to protect a company's intellectual property and help meet compliance legislation. So this is basically going to protect your data and devices in the cloud and give end users the ability to securely collaborate while still meeting their compliance needs. I would just like to ask if that would be something that would maybe be more on target for what you're looking for.
Sounds interesting. I think we definitely would need to learn more. I know from a pricing standpoint, it's going to be up to our board. So I think that the quicker and the more options you can present us with, the better off for you as a potential vendor of ours.
Right.
Yeah, I know that if we get breached, Matt and I don't have jobs tomorrow. So this is really stressing us out.
Right.
And
Um,
I think we have a good solution for you, and I think Lalo's going to finish it up.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we completely understand. Believe me, we know that at this moment it's very harsh, especially on the COVID season. And do not worry because we understand the importance of it, especially the jobs, right? And this is one of the best things that we have. For us, we have discussed, we have the Dell Safeguard and Response, as well as Dell Safe Data. We also have multiple services in our portfolio where we offer assessments for vulnerability testing. We have cybersecurity baselines, as well as implementations such as encryption and data loss prevention. We had the opportunity to have VMware Workspace ONE. And we also talked about the 5 different aspects. It all depends on the timeline, which I know right now we're in the time crunch, and I respect your time. But we do have the Dell technologies where we can provide a virtual global distributed security operations center, and you have multiple benefits. Here, you have the Dell Batch Resource Agent Rollout Assistance. You have threat detection and investigation, which will last the whole day, 24/7. We have the response and active remediation, which is up to 40 hours. Cyber incident response initiation up to 40 hours, as well as we have quarterly reviews with the customer to ensure that everything is going great. As you can see, we have plenty of options that we can help you as well as we can help you with identifying, protecting, detecting, responding, and recover. I hope we have more time to talk about it, but those are the solutions we have at the moment.